the regular meeting of October 17th for the Corbin City Commission. So we'll start, well, do we need to have Josh say the prayer or the roll call first?
It's fine, yeah, good. How are you doing, Bill? Let's pray. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, God, we thank you so much, Lord, for this and another day. We're so grateful, Lord, for our wonderful blessings, Lord, that you bestowed upon us today. The ones that we've seen, Lord, and the ones that we've not even thought about. We come to you now, Lord, just thanking you, Lord, for the jobs that you provided us with, Lord. We're so thankful, Lord, that you give us the means to be able to provide for our families. We come to you now, Lord, asking that you bless this city commission, Lord, bless this meeting, Lord, bless this city. Ask, Lord, all these things in your dear gracious heavenly name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's start with roll call.
Moore,
Here.
Reeves,
Here.
Knuckles,
Here.
Shepherd,
Here.
Rasmus.
Okay, first item on the agenda is to approve the September bills for payment.
Make a motion to pay the September bills.
Second.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes. Okay. Next, to approve the minutes from the September 30th meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd, Reeves,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes. Okay. Let's discuss traffic issues on 23rd Street.
I was contacted by Miss Wanda Hart here, who's with us tonight, about some issues that have occurred on 23rd Street. Most recently, her son, who lives up there, was hit in his vehicle. And basically the issue is the road being as narrow as it is. And she wanted me to place this on the agenda to discuss the possibility of maybe widening the road or making it one way from the bridge at the bottom of the hill up to the top of the hill. Wanda, do you want to speak on the issue, or does that pretty much sum it up? I think she spoke with almost 90% of the people that live up there.
Yes, I spoke to all of them, and the road is narrow. If you come in contact with the UPS truck or whatever, you gotta hit somebody's driveway to get over, or you go in the ditch. And like you said, my son was coming through there from work, and he stopped because where he was at, there's go over in the creek right up to my head, and there's about 3 or 4 blind spots up there. And this guy from Wayne Supply, he was an older guy, come through there talking on the phone, and he hit Jerry's mirror. Of course, the guy tore his off too and everything. But, and too, we got all them kids running back and forth from the school down there. And we got kids live up there that's moved into their grandparents' house, just young kids, and they don't pay no attention. I was coming home Saturday night, about 9:30, and this little old black car, they live up there, but he just a-flying. And I just barely made it to turn into my driveway. And we still have semi-trucks coming through there. Of course, they did bring us some signs, but if these trucks has got their GPS on, they're gonna go where it goes. I don't see how they make it one curve up there coming off the bypass.
Marlon, I guess what could we do? I mean, is it even possible? I know part of the road's in the city, but I think the part that she's talking about is in the city, and we could do something on that potentially. But I know that school buses run up through there, garbage trucks, post office. I mean, I think it would be a collective effort get with everybody to try to see if it's doable.
Well, we have a lot of Wayne Supply guys going and coming from work to work, And then you got the factories down there in the bottom, I mean, they're traveling it. But it would be best to get it one way.
It'd be my recommendation that me and Jeff go up there and look at it and see what the cost for widening would be first.
You will have to get easements.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and then you have to acquire all the easements and then, or
One way
possibly
would be
make it a
easier.
one-way. Let us
Well-
look at it first.
If you go widen it, you're gonna have to move a water hydrant that's right in front of my house. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's a lot to it, to why.
And then there we are, we got fences up, and everybody's putting fence up so people won't get over.
It would probably be easier to make it one way, but let us look at it first and then
Yeah, just
make a
put up some,
determination.
Okay.
Well, we have to go through a process to make it.
yeah, well, I know that.
All right.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, honey.
Alright. Next up is to ratify Mayor Rasmus's signature on official license plates and discuss process for authorization of those in the future.
So the county clerk's office brought it to my attention that in order for them to send paperwork to Frankfurt for any official license plate, they have to have either a mayor's signature or the judge's executives. And there's been two that she's had to sign, and it's not just for city vehicles, for any official plate. So Susie had asked me to put it on here for discussion, just so she didn't throw out signing everything without approval and authorization.
Sounds like a streamlining the process.
Make a motion to ratify Mayor Rasmus's signature on the license plates and authorize her to make those, approve those in the future.
Did you,
without-
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, I just said make it, make sure she can just authorize those in the future without having to bring it back to the city commission.
Did you say some of these weren't city due?
Yeah, like the school board and county vehicles, like if they're in Corbin, they'll come here to get
The
an
mayor would
official
sign
plate.
those even though they were for,
Because there isn't a judge executive here, Frankfurt will send the paperwork back if it's not signed by the mayor or judge executive. Shepherd,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
yes.
Moore,
Yes. Okay, next is resolution 2022-8, a resolution relating to the Cumberland Valley multi-jurisdictional multi-hazard mitigation plan.
Resolution number 2022-8, a resolution relating to the Cumberland Valley multi-jurisdictional multi-hazard mitigation plan for the city of Corbin, Kentucky. Whereas certain areas of the city of Corbin, Kentucky are subject to periodic flooding, tornadoes, severe storms, severe thunderstorms, and other natural hazards that have potential to cause damages to people and properties within the area, and whereas the city of Corbin desires to prepare and mitigate for such natural hazards, and whereas under the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, the United States Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, requires that local jurisdictions have in place a FEMA-approved hazard mitigation plan as a condition of receipt of certain future federal mitigation funding after November 1st, 2004, and whereas the Cumberland Valley multi-jurisdictional multi-hazard mitigation plan was developed in accordance with the regulations of the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000 and the guidance provided by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and whereas to assist cities and counties in meeting this requirement, the Cumberland Valley Area Development District has facilitated the development of multi-jurisdictional multi-hazard mitigation plan covering member jurisdictions of the Cumberland Valley region, including the city of Corbin, Kentucky. And whereas the city of Corbin, Kentucky has participated in the hazard mitigation planning process, now therefore be it resolved that the city of Corbin hereby adopts the Cumberland Valley multi-jurisdictional multi-hazard mitigation plan as the official hazard mitigation plan of the city of Corbin, Kentucky, and vests the Cumberland Valley Area Development District with the responsibility, authority, and the means to inform all concerned parties of this action, develop an addendum to this hazard mitigation plan if the jurisdiction's unique situation warrants such an addendum, appoints the Cumberland Valley Regional Mitigation Council to assure the hazard mitigation plan is reviewed according to the plan maintenance procedures in section 13, of the plan, and that any need adjustment to plan be developed and presented to the City of Corbin Local Mitigation Committee and to the City of Corbin for consideration. Agrees to consider any other official actions as may be reasonably necessary to carry out the actions of the Cumberland Valley multi-jurisdictional multi-hazard mitigation plan of the City of Corbin, Kentucky, adopted the 17th day of October, 2022.
And that's just, they're updating all their hazard mitigation plans, and they need resolutions from the cities and counties to get that developed.
Motion to approve resolution 2022-8.
Second.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
On this next one, just skip that, we'll go over that later date.
Yeah, because I was gonna mention that needs to be approved
Approved.
by the ad effect.
And that's what me and Tori were talking about today, so.
Because the step process they've got, if we do it, it's gonna have to be changed quite a bit.
Alright, so next up is to approve and authorize tax refunds for the following: Mary Sue Petrie at $130.38, and Daryl or Deborah Kelly at $130.38, both were eligible for the homestead exemption.
Motion. Second.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes. Next up is to accept resignation of Wade Mitchell in the police department.
Wade Mitchell sent me a letter of resignation. It was dated October 13th, 2022. Chief Hedrick, Mayor Rasmussen, City Commissioners, please accept this as my formal resignation from the Corbin Police Department. My resignation will be effective Sunday, October 17th, 2022. It has been a privilege to serve the citizens in the City of Corbin for the last 11 years, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity. With appreciation, Wade Mitchell.
We accept the resignation of Wade Mitchell, police department.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes. Next is to discuss and approve raise and holiday pay for the police department.
We will do the, raise first. It'd be my recommendation after working on the, main thing is we need new recruits coming in, a great starting pay, and also, look at the pay scale that we start them out with. It'd be my recommendation for new hirees, that we start at $15.25, with 50% raise for the training, once they complete it, and once they complete the academy, then they'd be raised to $16.25. But for any new recruits, we would add up to $15.75 starting out. I'm sorry, $15.25.
And then this is that with the $2 raise across, 2% raise across the board for the next 10 years.
Well, let me
Is that-
do these.
Okay, are they separate?
That'd be separate.
Okay.
We would change pay scale for Zach Johnson, who was our last hiree. He started out at $12.75. He would move to $15.25 once he completes all of his training. He would be at $16.25. We would need to adjust Chris Brown and Jarrett Carr, who were the last two we hired. They started out at $13.75. We would adjust them to $16.25. Then our other three patrolmen, Estes Rhodes, Will Stewart, and Justin Walker, who are at $16.25, would move up to $16.58. And then Basil Hodge, who's our detective, is at $16.25, and we would move him up to $18.25. And Stuart Walker, I'm sorry.
Will Stewart.
Or Will Stewart and Justin Walker. Estes Rhodes, Will Stewart, Justin Walker.
What do they go to?
1658.
They're at 16.25 right now.
Yes. felt we needed to, on top of Rusty, we need to adjust him since a new recruit would come in once he's completed your training, making the same thing.
Well, I think this is one step in the right direction in making us competitive with other cities. You know, losing Wade, you know, to another department. Hers, Wade was a great officer. You know, I'm not saying that this would change his mind or anything, but I think this will help bring in new recruits and it'll help keep the current officers that we've got here. With that said, I make a motion to approve the pay raises based on the recommendation of the city manager and Chief Edgar.
Second.
Before you do that, I was reading the old one. She gave me a new one earlier and I did not get it. I'm sorry. So what that would be, Rhodes, Stewart, and Walker would go 1675.
Chief Hedrick requested 50 cents for them instead of 2%.
So everything stays the same except for those three go?
Yes.
All right, I'll make that motion.
I apologize.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Now, there is also some discussion, and I gave that to each one of them, about a possibility of doing a 2% over the next 10 years. I would like to look at maybe waiting till we get the audit next week or next month. Look at that and maybe adjust it from there and see what we've got coming in, what's going out.
Well, Tori, based on the calculations that we have right now, I mean, we put these together and we're prepared to go ahead and pass those tonight. How much could the audit change it?
I think
I would like to go ahead and,
Is it 2% increase every year for the next 10 years?
For the next 10
10
years.
to me, there's a couple of problems with that.
Well,
For one thing, there's no way I would want to obligate a future commission for 10 years, that's 5 commissions worth of people, to do some kind of raises they may not even have the ability to do. And they may be in a situation where they were in 2013, 2012, where they have to put in a pay freeze.
I think it would be most appropriate for something like that to be handled in the budget committee
Yearly.
each year.
Yeah.
You know, I think the raises that we just made today will take care of, you know, the immediate problem, but I tend to agree with Trent on that.
And I feel that's why we need to look at the audit too.
And we can always bring it back and take another look at it.
In November.
Because the 2% raise wouldn't go into effect right now anyway, these raises that we just approved would go into effect, so the first 2% raise wouldn't go into effect till what, next July?
Well, year one, you'd start immediately.
So there would be a 2% raise on top of the raise that we already gave?
Yes.
I would like to do that for year one, especially year two.
Well, I think the other issue we have here is my understanding, we've got budget amendments tonight for probably over $100,000 worth of spending that was not accounted for in the initial budget. So all of the extra money that we thought we were going to have for the taxes is no longer there. So
Right.
I don't know, I think we need to be a little more cautious.
I think what the bills are for tonight were those that were already over budget in some of the departments from,
No, some of this was for
July,
spending that was not
September.
accounted for.
That's why I recommend we look at the audit first, and then we can come back to this next month and look at it.
and next month we'll also be looking at, for the fire department as well.
Well, that was my next thing.
Okay.
I would like to look at, possibility, maybe do that, you all can do that or wait, that, we put 5 paid holidays in for police and fire, with the possibility, last year, Public Works had to go out on Christmas Day and work. They got overtime, but they did not get no holiday pay.
They got holiday pay, but not overtime.
Holiday pay, but no overtime, I'm sorry.
Okay, so, but right now, the police department does not have holiday pay, correct?
No one does.
Right, okay, no one does, but public works got holiday pay. but-
If-
If the city's closed, full-time employees get paid for the holiday,
Okay,
but other than police and fire department, cause they can't close.
okay.
So this would give them, holiday pay would give them overtime for those days, basically? Is that what we're looking at, or?
In those days, I would recommend, getting with Tori, we looked at them. 5 paid holidays would be Christmas Day, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving Day, July 4th, and Memorial Day.
I think that's probably more doable immediately,
Yes.
considering the fact that it looked like for the police department, it was like a little less than $6,000. So I'm assuming it's probably gonna be in that neighborhood for the fire department. And that public works is, it may be, well, it's gonna be considerably less than that, or it may be even nothing if they don't go out on a holiday, you know what I mean? So that is something I think that could entice somebody, since we have, the police department's what we're looking at with retention, that is something, it's like, oh, that's a nice thing, you know, there's 5 holidays there where if I work and I'm, you know, younger guys, they like to go work those hours like that, cause they're hungry and they need money and they've got young children and whatever, so, that would be a good thing to do. I think that we probably would not be a budget buster, you know, and it doesn't obligate anybody to anything like forever, you know, increases, but I think that's sensible. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I think that maybe we should do.
I think if
Years
we're
is
gonna do it,
forever.
we need to do it just across the board for anybody that, you know, not just police, go ahead and implement it for fire.
Well, that's what we're talking.
Right.
That's what I was gonna do, police, fire, and public works, they would be the only ones out for, in those departments for holiday pay.
Make a motion to approve the, holiday pay for police, fire, and public works on the 5 holidays recommended by the city manager.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
So, Cory, we have 2 municipal orders in place right now. So, this is gonna change those that we have in place, right?
The starting pay.
for the police officers, it changes those municipal orders.
You've got a municipal order that replaces those other 2, right? Okay, cause you had a freeze in one of them.
The
Right.
ones,
The municipal orders that are currently in place that were passed on July 19th of 2021, they do include a freeze.
So you would need to repeal those and you've got a new municipal order that's in compliance with the way they have voted and are moved, I don't know if you voted yet or not.
So we need to make a motion to repeal the existing ordinance.
You need to tell them, it's in there.
So this, I prepared this just in case y'all decided to increase the PD, because municipal order 2021-2 says all patrolmen shall receive a starting wage of $12.75 per hour. Once field training is complete, said officer shall receive an increase of 50 cents per hour upon graduation from the academy. An additional increase of 50 cents per hour will be given, and then it lists the 50 cents for each year for the first 5 years. And then the one that was passed right before it, 2022-1, it states that all officers of every rank shall be frozen at their current rate of pay as of July 19th, 2021. The only increase shall be from the 2% for each 5 years unless salary increases are approved by the Board of Commissioners.
So there was already a 2.
that was every.
But all full-time
Every 5
employees are
years, okay.
guaranteed the 2% every 5 years.
Okay.
This new one, I had prepared it to repeal those 2 municipal orders, and then state that the starting wage would be the $15.25 per hour that Marlon had mentioned. And then once the field training is completed, the officers will receive 50 cents per hour. Upon graduation from the academy, an additional 50 cents per hour will be given, which would be the $16.25. And then, I don't remember which month, earlier this year when we increased the dispatch starting pay, that was only done in the minutes, and so
Yeah, it needs to be in there.
I'd included it in this municipal order as well, just to have an official.
So she just needs to read it, right, so for us to approve it, yeah?
Yes.
Municipal order number 2022-3, municipal order repealing municipal order number 2021-1 and 2021-2, and regulating the salaries of entry-level patrolmen in the police department. Now therefore be it ordered by the Mayor and Board of Commissioners of the City of Corbin, Kentucky as follows. Effective October 17th, 2022, the following shall occur in the City of Corbin Police Department. Section 1, Municipal Order Number 2021-1 and 2022-2 is here, sorry about that. And 2021-2 is hereby repealed. Section 2, all patrolmen shall receive a starting wage of $15.25 per hour. Once field training is completed, said officer shall receive an increase of 50 cents per hour. Upon graduation from the academy, an additional increase of 50 cents will be given per hour. Section 3, all dispatchers shall receive a starting rate of $13 per hour and receive an additional increase of $1 after 1 year of employment. Section 4, all future promotions must be approved by the Board of Commissioners. Section 6, all resolutions, orders, and ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. Adopted this 17th day of October 2022.
You did a good job. Of course, you had a good form to go by.
So we need a motion to approve ordinance 2022. Municipal order 2022-3. Is that right?
Okay. Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes. Moving on. So, next up is to approve hire of MSC of Kentucky, Inc. for architectural engineering design services for the new addition to the Corbin Center.
I've gave each one of you a cost analyst that Glenn sent to Bruce this afternoon. It exactly takes the 2.5 that we got from the legislators earlier in the year. This would be on the addition of the Corbin Center.
I have reviewed that contract, and it's the standard AIA contract in the industry. The only thing I can't represent to you are the figures that's in there, because I don't know if they're what they're supposed to be. I didn't have a chance to talk to Bruce because I was bored all day, and I didn't get it till on email till about two. Yeah. But I did read the contract. Marlon said he had talked to Bruce and that the figures that's in the contract are correct.
Yes, if Bruce had a question on one, he called Glenn, talked to him, and that's what it was supposed to be.
Okay. I just wanna make that disclosure.
So, what we're doing right now,
Hard architect.
yeah, but so is the cost of that what I'm seeing in the non-construction costs on this, am I understanding this right?
How much is that?
$2.5 million.
Non-construction?
All together, that's for design, for bids, I'm assuming this is all stuff that they're gonna be doing.
Yes.
Fees, inspection, equipment, so now how much do we have for that addition to the building total that we can give them?
2.5.
So that isn't, see, it's gonna be
That's,
addition.
the 2.2 would be the construction items, it's separate. And then the non-construction, which is your design, your permits, your survey, they'll have to go up and survey for all underground utilities, everything.
Okay, I didn't have that, I'm glad you pointed that out. Okay.
And that's the initial cost for the construction.
Estimated.
Plus,
Tori
yes.
just pointed out to me that what I was looking at, that's the 2.5 is the total for construction and everything. That's where I was confused, I'm sorry. I didn't add it up, and so,
I should've.
okay, that makes sense.
I don't do nothing.
Because I just thought, I was like, okay, wait a minute, is it another 2.2? Okay,
Right.
you know? Comes out right to the dollar, what we happen to have for the project.
If you're lucky.
It's amazing how that happens.
Provisions in there for change orders and additional expenses to the architect and engineer based upon whatever they discover. Hopefully no Indian mounds.
There's one, that was done with your ring.
I remember all that.
So is there, my question is there some reason that MSE is the one that was chosen for, were they the ones that originally, I guess, did the?
They originally were the engineering firm for the Corbin Center, the existing Corbin Center.
We did almost all the work out to the business park.
Is this
They
something
need
that we
to stay
bid
on
out?
budget.
You don't have to bid out professional services. You can, but you don't have to.
Kind of something we might want to look at.
I mean, I trust Versus Trent on people that he's worked with in the past, that did a really good job.
Not a time frame.
Yes.
That's why.
Let's make a motion on executive session.
Make a motion, we go into executive session.
Discuss the purchase or sale of real property. Pursuant to 61.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Won't be but a second. Motion, come back in session.
Motion, come back into regular session.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners met in executive session pursuant to KRS 61-810 to discuss the sale, purchase of real property, and no formal action was taken.
All right.
Huh?
Alright, so, looking over the contract and the figures, it looks like that the proposed estimate's in line with the grant that we received. And then MSC, they did the original work on that building, right?
That's my
So they're
understanding.
familiar with
He
it.
knows more about it than I do.
I make a motion to, approve and hire MSC of Kentucky for the architectural and engineering design for the addition to the Corbin Center.
Second.
Knuckles.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Reeves.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes. All right. Next up, city manager's report.
I've got one request for demolition of a building, from the code enforcement office and from the code enforcement board. We need to give Bob permission to start the process of filing suit on property at 509 College Street. College Street.
I've actually been over by there, it's really bad. I'll make the motion, begin demolition process.
All right.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Reeves.
Yes.
Knuckles.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes. All right, department reports.
Let me,
You got another
we
one?
got one thing.
Sorry.
Due to the newness of the line item budget, we did have to make a few amendments. In the recreation department, we need to make an amendment of $43,896.12. In the school resource expense, we need to do an adjustment, $52,301.40. Landscaping expense done through the city, $8,629.30. $8,629.30. In the administration assistant's office, You need to do $4,341.82. In the city collector's office, $5,935.22. In the city clerk's office, $3,077.40. And in the pool renovation, $30,100. And as I said, we're getting used to the line item budget, so for the next couple of months, we'll probably have to do some amendments.
So if we make those amendments, will that not make a deficit?
Rhonda and I are gonna look at it tomorrow and try to figure everything out, see what it does. There is some changes we need to make to the budget, to the line item budget.
Yeah, I feel like all of this should have been done on the front end, and going forward, we will probably need to approve the bills for payment beforehand. Before they get paid, and we have to retroactively approve them.
So my question is though, is, you know, if we go back and amend the budget and increase some of this, would it not create a deficit, which I think is unconstitutional, right?
Yes.
So how can we do that without figuring it out first?
I say you just,
Table it till next meeting, give you all time to look at it. Alright, I make a motion that we just table that and,
You'll have to have an ordinance
No.
to change it to.
Well, one thing, one way we'll come up with a lot of it is the fact that when we did our when we set our taxes last time, I think Tori figured out that we would have roughly $90,000 more in collections than we thought we were going to have, which will probably realistically be more like $70,000 to $80,000 of collections. But you can add that into the budget as revenue,
Right,
so that'll take care of several of the big ones there, and then you're just gonna have to,
yeah, I think also that tax revenue also was going towards the police
That's right.
raises.
yeah,
that's what we
so,
were gonna use for the 2% over.
yeah.
So I think it's just something that we need to look at in a little more detail. I mean, obviously, we will have to amend it to make the necessary changes, but I think it needs to be done in a way that's legal.
Yeah, she just prepared, like you do, you do it in the same format you do the old budget for the amendment. Just go to that line item, you put a line through it, and then what you add, you put a line underneath it. Yes, Council.
Okay, so in the meantime, though, Marlon, are we, as of right now, so I see that these are through 9/30, are we still paying
These are
bills
from
this?
the ones we've got here were from 7/1 to 10/31.
Okay,
Okay.
the ones that we have,
Today.
that we're approving retroactively,
Yes,
and they've already been paid though, correct?
yes.
That's the way most of them, almost all of our bills. are.
Right.
Yes.
Right,
We have some with credit card, and then we have some we have to pay by check on.
I don't know what credit card.
so the November bills for payment will need to be discussed,
Rhonda's gonna run the report to see.
okay?
So I guess for now, we just take no action on that. We need to figure out
Right.
what we need to change on the revenue side to account for it.
Yeah.
That's all we really need to do.
Correct.
And make sure everybody sticks to the budget, and
What you
sure
don't
it
wanna
isn't
do
already,
is approve it, and you might have to have a deficit.
right,
Yeah. Or make adjustments elsewhere in spending to account.
That's right.
right. Yeah, we have some that are already like 176% over budget, and 137% over budget for the year. Just in the last 3 months, so.
That's all I have.
Okay. Any other departments have report? Anyone in the audience have anything they'd like to discuss? Hi.
My name's Danny Rhodes, and I own a small mobile home park in East Corbin. And, we've got a lot of problems. We've got water problems, we've got trespassers, we've got the drug addicts coming and going all hours of the night. I would like to turn it into a gated community. And therefore, I'll have to spend a fortune on fences and gates and everything. But my question is, there's alleys on at least 3 sides of it. It consists of over 2 acres. The alleys over the years have been taken over by all the neighbors. That was originally my grandfather's farm, like better word, that's why it was called the Meadows. He had one of the first houses built in East Corbin, and he used that area to trade in cattle, worked on the railroad, traded cattle, and he put them down there on the Meadows. Well, after he passed away, my dad bought out all of his brothers and sisters and built a little trailer park there. And all the adjoining people that, the properties, houses around there, they assumed since he had a good strong cattle fence up, they ran their fences into it, regardless of where the alleys were. They also ran their water drainage from their homes toward that open field. Now I've got water problems, I've got trespassers, I've got a boat storage facility over there I built myself. I bought another 2/3 of an acre. And it got broke into 4 times last year. And, I know the police have got their hands full, they can't be over there all the time. So that's why I'm gonna have to be forced to, put the fence up. And what I would like to do is either have those alleys open or closed to where I can either, what I'd like to do is get ditches on 3 sides of the property to keep it from flooding. Originally, years ago, there was somewhat of a ditch there, slags and stuff, and they filled in, they're useless now. So I'm getting water up almost under some of the trailers, and, the street that turns in there is called Ruggles Street. Well, the 911 shows Ruggles Street is going into my park, going through the park, and out on the Bartle Street. Well, it's not actually a street going out into Bartle Street, there's a 10-foot alley. It comes in off Bartle Street, but when it hits my property, it ends there. But because my dad blacktopped all of it, they kind of took it over and called it all Ruggles Street. I'd like to get that fixed. I'd like to either, I'd like to get the alleys open and get some ditches put in around the park to keep the water problem down. And I'd also like to close Ruggles Street where it hits my property at, so I can control the trespassers and the thieves coming in all hours of the day and night. And I just thought I'd like to present that before the commission and get their thoughts on it.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Let's see, Marlon, what's the best way to approach these concerns?
I have to check on the alleys and see what they are, if they're open or closed alleys now.
Yeah, I mean, our procedure's been on that, on closing alleys, it's not been used, is that it's the property owners, ours, the attorney goes through the procedure, and you all do it with money deed. And on that road going through, you say it's named Rose Street?
Ruggles. The alley was originally Rose Alley.
Okay, you'll need to check and see if that's on the city. If it's not, you own it. But if it is a city street, you have to close it and do what you want to do with it. So you probably have to get an attorney to assist you after he gets through finding out what it is. Okay?
All right. Anybody else have anything? If not, then we'll need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.